Hello everybody, this is a test. We'll see how this goes. We have our audio on, annotations are on. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, let's say back to work. Hey, Charlie, how's it going? Yep, I do have a mic. Been painting on this very interesting whale attempt that I'm going for. It's interesting. So far, so good. Oh, nice. Good to hear that you're doing good. Very nice to hear. Let's see. So far, what I'm trying to do is I need the base of this whale to be painted. It's just not going for me. I'm thinking maybe I need to just do a projection. I don't even, well, right now I don't even know what I'm going for too directly. I want this to be a whale. And I know whales have like a white stomach. How to pull that off artistically with this is going to be the trick. This is what the trick is going to be. That will be the trick. Definitely will be. Oh, thank you. Yeah, really like your approach to experimenting with all these tools. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just like to mess around. I was playing in Cinema 4D and I figured out X particles cloth simulations. I'm messing around with that, and then I don't know, the idea hit me. I'm like, I want to make a cloth whale. I have no clue why that came up, but that's what my goal is. There's so many things that you can make. Sometimes it just gets a little overwhelming what to actually make. So when idea hits you, you kind of go for it. And this is something that I've really kind of wanted to do when I came up with that idea. I'm like, I don't know why. This is going to be the tricky part, is the whale needs to get some type of, because it's such an abstract shape to call this a whale, so it has to really have some defining points on it to really help the audience know that it's a whale. So if I can just give possibly some gray on its mouth, maybe here. Yeah, that's what I'll probably do. Multiple levels. I'll do the belly. Yeah, I'll do the belly white. And what's so cool is, I don't know if you have Substance Painter, Charlie, but what I'm doing is I'm not actually painting the whale white. What I'm doing is I actually have a fill layer, it's called, on top. And this is my fill layer, and I can pump whatever I want into this fill layer, meaning I can pump this whole thing to be red right now, because what I'm doing is I'm painting an alpha on whether this shows through or not. So I could say at any time, oh, I don't want this to be white, change all my strokes. I have so much more power with my painting now. I'm not just painting on white and being like, oh, crud, and I have to repaint all this if I wanted a different color. I can just paint the position of it and then just start mixing in my own like little shape into it. So maybe, okay, the whale's belly will be about, is the whale's maybe a little blue? Maybe a little blue? Just a tad of blue. Kind of like a greenish blue. Maybe just something like that for the whale's belly. It's not bad. It's not bad. Not too bad. It's not that bad. Just add a little bit here. No, they're not going to see the back for the render I'm doing. Just being a little touchy with that. Yeah, and I think I kind of want to get in here. Yeah, because this will be part of the belly, I think. Such an abstract shape, though. Again, it's kind of tricky to figure that out. I'm gonna add another layer. I'm gonna add another fill layer. I'm gonna call this mouth. Yeah. And all I do is right click and I add a black mask, and literally then I just paint in where I want that mask to show up. So for our fill color, we'll just have a base color here. And for this base color, we'll make the mouth like a dark, we'll say black for now. Black's good enough. And I'll erase that. And what's great is this is an entirely separate layer, so I don't have to worry about messing up anything else. Hopefully this will be a very organic, oh no, that's going to annoy me. Don't want anything touching this. Yeah, get that all clean. There we go. Very nice. I have music playing, but I don't have it actually going through the stream because I'm monetizing this, and I don't think I'm allowed to share that. So definitely gotta be careful with that monetized stuff. Now with the mouth, we're good on you. Now let's see what we can do for the mouth. Back to the white color. I keep forgetting I can just click this invert button. Why do I keep doing that? Oh, and see this? We're painting a color in. So I want to do is I want to make sure I go to my paint and I uncheck height, roughness, metal, and normal. So I'm just painting color. I don't want to paint anything else. There we go. So now that's proper, keeping the base roughness for my main material, which is this fill layer here, which is the main fabric for my whale. So now for here, this could be almost his tongue sticking out. I almost kind of wonder. That'd be kind of funny. Like a funny whale. So we'll kind of give him a little bit of a nose here. Yeah, whales are kind of black colored. Oh, it's kind of working for me. This is looking more like a creature. It's a little closer. Whoops, don't want that there. Try and get all of this. There we go. Now I never thought about actually making the whale all black or gray. Whales are usually that color. Whales aren't usually blue. I don't even know why I was thinking of making it blue actually. So apart from 3D art, do you do engineering? Yes, I do. In a specific sense. So that I'm thinking you're probably asking that because of the header down at the bottom. I'm a freelance Cinema 4D 3D artist / engineer. Now, by engineer, I don't do architectural work or CAD projects. I'm not a CAD worker. But by engineer, meaning I like to go through and rework the guts of basically 3D software and figure out what makes it tick and how it works, and fix bugs with it and workarounds. I like to engineer the process of the actual software and reuse it. Now, I don't do that in a coding form. Basically, I like to go through and figure out problems with software and then figure out workarounds. So, like, I don't know if you use Cinema 4D or not, but a great example is Cinema 4D has this issue with exporting normal maps out to Unreal Engine, and I couldn't get it to work. So I tinkered on that and ended up figuring out a way on how to get it to work, and figured out and developed my own workflow on exporting out normal maps and stuff like that. So if you check out my website at epicjcreations.com, you can go to my training page. And this is basically, from here, you can check out my Cineversity course. I ended up contacting Maxon and taught a course. There's me. And I go through the process and I talk about converting these normal maps over from Cinema 4D and bringing it into Unreal Engine. And it's just, I kind of, oh, nice. Yeah, more like R&D. Yep, exactly. It's actually an old footer. I need to change the name. I'm still stuck on trying to how to describe myself. But basically, I just kind of like said, okay, I'm in Cinema 4D. I need to get this normal map to Unreal Engine. I couldn't work, so I ended up figuring out a process, convert it through XNormals, flip the green value in Photoshop, which is what Unreal Engine likes, and then drop that in, and then it works. So I like to take a process, simplify it, and refine it. I don't know if you use Octane render either, but I'm also working on an Octane course right now where I'm doing the same thing. I'm running through the process of how Octane works and simplifying its main core functions and trying to improve on how it works. I have a few free Octane courses, like how to project an image with light and stuff here. On my YouTube, I have a lot of tutorials on that too. So in here, I like to figure things out, like how would I project an image with light like a projector in Octane? How would I do that? So I tinker a little bit, figure out how to do it, and then come up with a workflow that makes it easier. My goodness, my resolution is low. Let's put that up a little higher. And now you can see here, I go through a process in this video on how to project that and do different things like that. So yeah, it's interesting. That's what I mean by engineer. It's an interesting description. It's something I've been stuck on actually for quite some time, figuring out. Oh, nice. You've started seeing your channel with that Octane video. Oh, nice. Glad to hear that's getting around. Yeah, I'm definitely pushing the Octane. That is my main kind of core. Don't get me wrong, I use other software too. Like right now I'm in Substance Painter, but my main workflow revolves around Octane. Like I'm in Substance Painter now to paint this whale up to bring it back in Cinema 4D and render it with Octane. So I'm all about that. Oh, that was the actual Octane video that the one I showed you. Nice. That was the one that brought you to my channel. Cool. Yeah, that was a pretty fun process. Now I'm unsure whether I want to just go to here and just change the color. I think that's what I should be doing. I don't know if I want him to be partly blue. A whale's not blue. So why would I make a whale blue? That doesn't make sense. Unless I want him to be a little blue. Maybe like a tan blue. Just a really dark blue. Something kind of like this. I like that. Then we got the belly. Now for the mouth, let's go ahead and clear our mask and re-enable him. And this time we're going to have a new color. We're going to have pure black. Do I want a pure black mouth, or what does a whale's mouth look like? Maybe I'll just give him a little definition. Yeah, give him some definition, maybe around the eyes or something. I kind of like that. I do like that. Maybe you could gradiate from the base of the whale up to here. I don't know. Oh, you've recently changed to Blender for concept art, but still want to use Octane depending on the pipeline. Oh, yeah. Oh, so that's interesting. So you started in Cinema 4D and then you moved over to Blender? Or I'm sorry, I don't know if I asked that or not. Were you originally a Cinema 4D artist, or did you start in some other software? I think I'll give him a little bit. Oh, okay, nice. So you did start in Cinema 4D. Interesting. Well, that's really cool. So what really made you decide to move over to Blender? I mean, I've messed around with it a bit. It is a very powerful piece of software. Straight with Cinema 4D. Nice. Very nice. Let's see. Give that a little... Give that a little bit there. Yeah, man, I am lost on how I'm going to go with that. Do I take it at an angle? I could. Boy, how do I... Take... Yeah, man, this is tricky. How do I... It's a big thing is to kind of visualize where you want to go with it. So I'm thinking a baseline here. Let's just break out like a main definition line. So I'm just kind of thinking something simple. An angle, kind of like this. Yeah, I'm liking that. Okay. And maybe bring in a little bit for the head. Okay. Now, could I do an angle-based system where I kind of bring it in like this? I don't know if I like that. Just do a little bit here. Yeah, this is what I'm going to be finicky on. Well, let's just block out a little bit of the head. You know what I'll do too? That would probably help a lot is if I intensify the blend on my brush. Just really blend it nicely. There we go. That's helping a lot. Makes it just very lightly sit in. And you know what? We'll take my pressure down. I think what commands that? Yeah, I'll make it so light. I'll just brush in very lightly. Yeah, that's what we needed. I still like it a lot, but the modeling process in Blender is much more advanced, especially for hard surface. I definitely agree with you on that. I've watched a lot of tutorials of modeling for Blender, and I follow along in Cinema 4D, and I definitely have to agree with you on that. Blender's got some pretty freaking crazy stuff, and a lot of things that the people end up doing in the tutorials I can't follow up with in Cinema 4D unless you get like plugins and stuff. There's cool plugins like Hard Drops and Mesh Machine. Oh yeah, that is a big thing in Blender, which is nice. Yeah, getting things like that. Yeah, that's the truth. Is Blender is a little bit nicer for modeling, or a lot nicer for modeling, depending on what you have. So that's a good point. Yeah, definitely can't argue with you there. What I'll put this to that. Let me up my opacity, and we'll shrink our brush. If I could remember these hotkeys, just take all that out. Now, what if I could just take the belly and put it on top, and then I don't even have to worry about that. I'm probably just going to do that. Yeah, we'll just paint the mouth. Yeah, I don't even need to worry about that then. Let's go ahead and expand our brush, smooth it out, lower our intensity, and just really, we'll first feather the heck out of this. Let's feather the heck out of all that back. Or actually, let's just clear this mask, and then I'll really lighten. Yeah, I can really get a good defining. Oh, what am I doing? I'm not even painting it. There we go. There we go. We can really. Yeah, well, whatever tools is good, really. Bought Substance since you posted a video about the promo. Oh, nice. Glad you got that. Yeah, that promo they did, my gosh. That sold me. Haven't done much with it yet. There are many programs. Oh, man, I hear ya. There's so much stuff to learn. Nowadays, there's just software everywhere. Like you were mentioning World Machine. I've had my eye on that for, I think not even joking, 3 years, and I've still not even touched it. I keep thinking in the back of my mind, eventually I do want to learn World Machine someday. Someday I will do that. Like there's just so much stuff out to learn now. It's really overwhelming. That's why I just try and just kind of prioritize what do I need to learn, and what takes precedence at the moment. Am I going too heavy with that? Yeah, let's take our intensity down a little bit more. There we go. I like that. Just bring in a little bit. That's what I like to see. There we go. Yeah, I'm going to be picky. I'm going to clear that mask again. Just feel like I went over a little too heavy. I just want to get a little bit of this blue in on the whale. I don't know why I want a blue whale. Do you know Jama Drabavev? Sorry if I pronounced that name incorrectly. No, I don't think I know him. That said, I'm extremely bad with names. Like, I remember faces really easy, but names I don't remember really well. I have trouble with names. I don't think I know him, though. I don't think so. Is he into 3D too? Bring this a little bit here. I do like this. This is good. I'm just going to lower my opacity even more. Just want a nice gradient transition into that. Now we can definitely take it up here for the mouth. And then we'll feather out the belly too into the top, and that'll look really good, I think. For now, though, I can just concern myself with this, and then I can go ahead and paint the tongue. Definitely needs... What does a whale's mouth look like? It's like what? I'm gonna mess around with that, actually. I'm just gonna... How do you spell tongue? T-U-N-G, tongue. I'm also dyslexic. Oh, can I send a link? Absolutely. Links are completely open. Definitely go ahead. 100% okay with links being sent. Let's see. Whoops, I just did that. Let's add a black mask. And for our base color, what are we going to do? Let's just first paint. What do we got? Belly, eye, mouth. Yeah, tongue will be above the mouth. Shrink this down, increase the intensity, and paint this. Totally need to adjust. No normal, no metal, no rough, no height. And we'll also adjust our spacing. Why is it this so high? That's what I want to see. Nice and smooth spacing. Right, yeah. I'm trying. Let's see. Take about that. It's not bad. Okay, this will just be a basic test. Now, if I take this, what color is a whale's tongue? Kind of pink colored? What would it be up here? Not purple. Yeah, it's like pink, so it's pink, like a light red. A little bit redder. I don't even think that's working too well. Nope. Nope, that's not doing it. Okay. Let's not do a tongue. We'll just keep it a basic mouth. Now, what I think it does need actually is if I take our mouth and I just take you off just a little bit. No, you know what? I'll do is I'll fade this into the belly. That is what would that's what's going to sell it. I think so. Just add a little intensity, and we'll just take all. Well, we'll first intensify this a lot, and we'll just take all this off. And then what we should do actually is we'll take belly and we'll invert that and we'll paint in the belly here. And then we'll take the belly and we'll just put all that in part of that. And now we can put the belly in here. That kind of is working. I'm liking that. And this will be good for that. And that is good for that. Not bad. Take this. I'll take that. Just eventually I'm going to need to actually I can totally invert this. Soften it up. Just lightly start. Not that much. Come on. That's intense. Why is it taking it off so hard? There we go. Oh, it's because my spacing is so low. Learn squared concept into 3D art. Sweet, let me check this out. Let's grab a link. Here it is. I think, oh, what am I doing? I Google searched the link. Intro 3D. That's weird. Why didn't it take me to it? I think this is it. Is this the one here? I think this is. LearnSquared.com course intro. Learn Squared course intro 3D concept. Pretty sure this is it. Okay, sweet. Ooh, nice. Ooh, this is cool. What's the software he's using? What is this program? Oh, Keyshot. Ah, I've heard of Keyshot. I've never used it. Is this Keyshot too? This 3D code. Okay, that's a great program. And then this is Keyshot. Ooh, 3D code and Keyshot. Nice. Nice stuff. 3D code's cool. Nice. I've heard a lot of things about 3D code. But it's interesting. I've actually heard a lot of people saying that texturing-wise, Substance Painter is a little better. At the same time, they said both of them can do the same thing. Substance just feels a little easier, they said. I've never tried 3D Coat though, so I don't know. I don't know really what to say about that. All I know is 3D Coat puts out some pretty cool stuff. He's really good. He's got great composition he's setting up. I'm horrible with my 3D design, so I need to work on that. After I get out my Octane course I've been working on, I'm going to focus on that, hopefully a little harder. Ooh, that's cool. That's nice. That's really nice. How much is this course? 200. Lifetime access. That's very nice. Oh, FPR production. Yeah, Substance Painter is better for FPR production. I think FPR, what does that stand for? I'm bad with abbreviations. Uh, frame per FPR. I'm so bad with abbreviations. 11 hours. Okay. 35 hours of bonus content. Okay. It's not bad. Wow, he teaches a lot of stuff. So, Judy in 3D techniques, hard surface sculpting. Nice. Advanced hard surfaces. Oh, I'm sorry. Substance is better for production. Yeah. Yeah, Substance really is. It, it is so incredible, especially for production, like you're saying. They just did an update quite recently when the thing went out. Actually, in the video that a tutorial put out, all these panels in here are undockable. I can close everything, and all we have is this open, beautiful workspace. I can rotate my HDRI. My whole screen now is dedicated just painting. If I want anything, there's a tab up here. I can say, okay, I'll pull out my texture sets. I want to adjust some of these. And I'm just like, okay, work around. Say, oh, nah, I'm done with that. He's doing a Patreon with Octane Render and other stuff with World Machine. Oh, nice. He's doing Patreon. That's interesting. I looked into Patreon because the course, oh, it's doing an autosave. I'm making a Octane Master course, it's called, where I try and teach everything Octane Render oriented. Now, it is strictly Octane Render in Cinema 4D, so I focus on the Octane Cinema 4D plugin side of the thing. But basically, I was thinking about using Patreon to sell it. But it's going to have like 35 hours and over 100 videos, hopefully, plus more to come after that. And I ended up citing for a software called Gumroad. I don't know if you've checked out my Gumroad store or not. I don't want to go to products. Here it is. It's like this is like my Gumroad shop on here. And you can like buy things on here. It's pretty cool. Like if we go to preview, we can check out the preview. Like this is a little free stone generator I got in Cinema 4D. You can check it out. You can do I want this. Little free soda can. A 3D rock scan I did. A bunch of crazy stuff. You can do I want this. And you can either pay nothing for it, get it for free, or you can have a little price. But it's pretty cool. Yeah, Gumroad's awesome. I bumped into that not long ago, actually. A friend told me about it, and I was like, what the heck? This is awesome. So it's the perfect thing for me lining up a course, and that's actually what I'm planning to sell it on. And if you want, I'll give you a sneak peek into the courses. It'll be called the Octane Master Course, and it'll be like a membership system. And so far, these are a few of the videos I have loaded in. Now, this is just only like a small portion. It's got so much work to go. I have so many videos I still need to upload. I got so many gigs of stuff. It's taken forever to upload it all. But I got all kinds of stuff in this course that I'm planning to put out. Like, it's going to be the full-fledged walkthrough. So in the beginning, like this is already partly into the course. Like I talk about lighting, texturing, how it works with plugins, how to work it with Turbulence FD, make fire simulations and render it, or more focused on the rendering, not really talking about how to make the fire simulations with Turbulence FD. But definitely super hyped for this course. It's going to be a yearly membership. So it's going to be $300 for the first year. But what's so great is after the first year is over, you keep everything that you subscribe for. So every single video in this course, I'm going to be adding a lot more when I actually launch it, you're going to have as soon as you subscribe, and once your subscription's over, you're going to keep it all. So you don't lose anything. So this isn't a subscription that expires that you lose. Now, when your subscription, sorry, I can't talk. Your membership prescription, or blah, I can speak. Your membership will expire eventually after a year, and the downside with it is that once it expires, there we go. I said it. It's getting late. But once it does expire, there is a drawback, and you will no longer get updates for the course. So the point is it going to go up to Octane version 4? Yes, it will. And this is what got me so excited. Sure, I'm down to get the course once you got it up. Oh, sweet. Well, thank you, Charlie. I really appreciate that. What's so great about the course and its setup is that I'm going to launch it, and you'll pay $2.99 for that first year. And then throughout that year, I have continuous updates. That means when Octane version 4 officially launches, boom, I'm going to be putting videos out and updating. That means this entire library here, now I am going to say too, the videos are stream only, and this is because I want to make sure users keep having the most updated versions. I don't want them to download them and keep outdated copies. So basically, say they go ahead and they rebuild the glossy material from ground up. I will go back through into that course, re-record the glossy material, and re-upload it into the course, and boom, everything in this course will constantly, for the next year of your subscription, every video you have in that repository will constantly be kept to the most update version. So that means if Octane version 4 comes out and they change how it works, boom, new version of Octane in this course, raring to go, ready to go for you. Now, on top of that, what's interesting too is after that it's over, the year's ended, you keep everything that you had for that year. So all those videos, all this PDF files, you name it, everything, scene files, you get to keep it. You just no longer get continuous updates. So if Octane version 5 comes out, that's not going to be for quite some time, but if it does and I make updates to it, you won't have access to those updates unless you start another year of sub. Now what's great though is I realize $2.99 is a fair deal, I think, to pump out for the first year because there's a lot of content going to be here. Like this is only like less than a tenth than what's going to be available. Like there's going to be over 100 videos. But for the next year, you're not going to be getting 100 videos again. You're just going to be keeping everything you have here. Plus, you're going to just get continuous updates for that year. So is that really worth $300? I don't think it probably would be. So every year of sub, you get a discount. Now, right now, I'm thinking $2.99 for the first year, then the next year you get a 50% off code, so it's only $150 for the next year, and then your third year we're going to give you additional 50% off, so it'll be like $75 for the third year and fourth year. That's what I'm thinking. Now on top of all that, I'm also giving anybody who becomes a subscriber, joins the Octane Master Course membership, becomes a member, will have access to my private Discord where they can ask questions, and if they have any problems and stuff, I'll be there to help them out. So it's really a membership that basically I'm trying to build a membership that will solve all your Octane learning problems. So if you want to learn Octane, no matter what your skill level, be it beginner or master, this is the place to come to get those questions answered. That's my goal anyway. So literally the course will start out with a bare bones introduction. What the heck is Octane Render? It's a render engine. What is a render engine? And we'll go all the way down into the most advanced topics such as rendering out object buffers, proper export formats, rendering with alpha channels, rendering turbulence FD, rendering transparent glass with alpha channels, compositing layers, infinite floors, HDRI environments that don't show up in the reflections on your floors. I can go on and on. The workflow between Cinema 4D, Octane Render, and Substance Painter, and pumping those through, and you name it, a lot of stuff. I'm rambling at this point. I will ramble on quite a long time on that actually. But thank you for the questions. I appreciate that. But let's see. I'm gonna put. There we go. Sounds good, man. Seems like a lot of work and time worth it. Yes, it has been a lot of time. Hello, Jay. You're doing a great job with all the videos on your channel. Can't wait for your course. Hey, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. Hewison Jimmy. Is it okay if I call you Jimmy? Hey, Jimmy. Thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate that. So glad that you found the videos helpful on on my page. Really do appreciate it. And again, so happy you found it helpful, and so glad that you're excited for the course. Like I've put, like Charlie said, I've put a lot of time into this. It's been my life for I think almost a year now, and I am really excited for it. Keep your eyes open. It's hopefully my plan is to launch it before August. That is my plan, or at least start pumping advertisements out for it before August. So it's so close. I'm actually down to only a few videos left. I think I got like 10 videos left to record until the whole thing's about done. Totally okay. I learned quite a lot from you. Great job, man. Oh, thank you so much, Jimmy. I really appreciate that. So glad. I love talking about Octane and 3D stuff, so always happy to share. And it's definitely looking like the YouTube streaming is kind of working out. I used to stream on Twitch a little bit, but majority of my community of people that I've been building up, like with my tutorials and stuff, have all been on YouTube. And it hit me today. I know I feel kind of stupid. I didn't think about this till today. I was kind of like, why am I trying to pull my community over to Twitch and move everybody over there and trying to build a community from scratch on Twitch when I could just stream on YouTube where I already have a community? Why am I trying to do that? So I'm like, I'll just stream on YouTube. What have I been thinking? And this seems to work a whole lot nicer. I also like YouTube's setup. It's pretty dang cool. But let's see. Oh, I got sidetracked a little bit. These panels in Substance are just amazing. Like I can just open a panel up, pull it off, say, okay, this will be my layer panel. I can just pull it over here. I don't want it over there. It's blocking my view. And I'll say, okay, I'll just grab this and say, oh, I want my settings panel. So I'll grab my little, where it is, my settings panel. This is it. Pull my little settings panel over and say, okay, I want this here. Or maybe I'll dock it in a separate window on my left side. So I'll pop this up here, organize this down here, and now boom, I can have a mixture of them all together and say, okay, up my spacing. My spacing is way too low. That's why I'm having such issues with this. There we go. Now I can feather this out. Get this feathered like crazy, crazy. Yeah, totally feather. That needs a lot right there. Very good. We don't want that. Just a little bit. There we go. But yeah, like literally you can just dock, undock, and I can X all these off. Boom, they're all gone now. Out of sight, out of mind. And anytime I want them back, they're just right over here. So I can pull them off, delete them, and boom, they pop back up in there. Like, I was just like completely shocked, blown away when Substance pulled this out. This is like, in my opinion, the best UI setup for any 3D software I've ever bumped into as far as the just using it. Like, I don't use Substance Painter that much. Sadly, I spend so much time tinkering in Octane, especially lately because I've put so much time in the course. I haven't actually had much time to make things as much anymore. It's more time spent teaching than actually learning stuff to teach, which is kind of being a little bit of an imbalance. But as soon as I get this course out, I'll be able to start learning stuff. So I've been trying to keep up with making cool looking stuff, but haven't had as much time. Which, if any of you guys haven't tried yet, what really taught me so much, more than I've learned from anything else, was doing a daily render series. Doing a new render every day for a year taught me more than I ever could have expected. Like anybody who hasn't done a daily render series, I swear by it. Like it's incredible. Like what you can learn is just amazing. Like it's pretty dang cool. This is looking good. Let's take that. Yeah. Take that over there. It's good. Let's see. Take this. This is coming together. And I don't know if Jimmy saw or not. I'll go ahead and reveal the floor. Where is it? I still have to learn these palettes. My goal is I'm making a ocean with a whale in it, and it's all made out of cloth, so it's going to be a very abstract render of a cloth whale on the ocean. It's just going to be interesting. Very, very interesting. We'll see how it goes. I really hope people can distinguish it as a whale. Oops, I got rid of the whale instead of the floor. You know, let's just do a check. Substance Painter, I don't know if you guys know or not, actually comes with iRay built into it. Like the iRay render runs, it's very similar to Octane, And it's freaking incredible that it can actually do that. I'm pretty impressed with it. Oh, I don't like this HDRI. Eh, man, get the angle right. It's a literal path tracing render. It's very similar to Octane. Yeah, this texture is going to need a lot of love in Octane. This is kind of yucky. It's okay, though. There's so much I can pull out. Octane's just pumped out recently a sheen texture, which is friggin' incredible in the glossy material. You can create such realistic looking cloth. So this is, it may look a little ugly now, but I have really high hope for it when I get into Octane. Good enough for previs. You know, I could save this a little bit if we brought this into, where's my parameters? Yeah, we'll pull this off, and we'll pull this off to select my layer. Oh, and I also need to switch back to the whale. And for the whale, let's go to the basic fill layer. And what's so great is the reason that I mapped everything underneath an alpha that has no control. I have only the color being adjusted, not controlling anything else, so I can control that in bulk here. So I can take the roughness down on the whole whale, get some reflections in them. We can just go get rid of that. And then literally, boom, we can pop back at our render by pulling one slider, and now we got a nice shinier whale. Maybe I want a shinier whale? I don't know. Maybe. Really not sure. I might. Yeah, I might make the floor. I might make the floor a little less, a little bit more. I don't know. I'm gonna. Well, the roughness I could totally up. The metallic we could crank and make it look really weird, but I'm not gonna probably do that. We'll keep the roughness back to probably 3. Nah, it's just 30. What am I doing? I need 0.35. That's what I was going for. There we go. I'm liking that a little better. What I also want to do is go to world quality. Yeah, let's put this to here. Ambient occlusion. We can up that a little bit. Just max it out. Just make it a little easier to see. A little separation there. Now there should be. Where's my world shader? Ah, here it is. Let's go ahead and take our environment opacity. I'm just going to pull this up to max and take my environment blur and see what I can do to bring some life into this. Its lighting means so much. The shine makes sense. I mean, he's coming out of a cloth ocean. Yeah, right, right, Jimmy. That's too true. That would make sense. Let's give him a little bit more shine on that. Let's go pull this panel out. Where was it? A little bit less roughness. Let's put it down to like 0.25 then. Yeah, 0.25. Oh, and you know what? Let's go ahead and take our floor. And yeah, we'll just undock the floor over here too, actually. And what was this? Yeah, this one. We'll take let's take our floor. I was already on it, and drop its roughness down to like 0.25. There we go. Much more shiny. That'll bring a lot of more life into that. And go ahead and dock him. Let's go ahead and I was taking me a little bit to get these figured out. The images, the icons they have for each parameter sometimes don't always match up to what I think would fit for that. Oh, they have some really cool HDRIs. Nice, that's pretty. Let's just bring something with a lot of color in. It's a nice seashore. You can load in your own custom HDRIs, which I thought I did, but it doesn't save. It's not persistent. I do like this green one. You know what? I really like this blue one. This is probably what I'm going to keep. It's a good blue. It's great. We'll take our environment blur, and we can check on shadows. That's cool. It's really cool. Oh, this is what's so freaking cool about Substance 2, is that it like will render the shadow maps. Like it's live, like a game engine shadow map now, but as I stop moving, see how it's like rendering it, softening out those edges? It's so cool what you can do. So I can like, okay, I'm going to rotate my shadows and stuff. But then actually do like legit global illumination on the inside of it. It's pretty crazy. Let's do exposure, brighten everything up. Let's put it back to 1. We might turn shadows off. We'll do an intense. And if I set it to intense, now we really can calculate in a realistic shadow, which is pretty crazy. Probably shouldn't be spending. So like, see, this is the default, kind of messy, but as it calculates, the shadows slightly move, get more accurate, and kind of fill in. See how we're not getting so dark, and boom, look at that. There it is. It lights it in. Can you add light source? Boy, that's a good question. Uh, maybe? I don't think you actually, no, I'm pretty certain you can't. You are limited to lighting your scene based off of your HDRI. Now that said, you can make a mesh a light, I'm pretty sure. Now a mesh cannot be a light in this mode. To make it a light, I'd have to go actually to the iRay mode. So lighting, you are pretty limited. I definitely will say that. So you are pretty limited in lighting, considering you can only light it with an HDRI. But you are usually, and don't quote me on that. I could be wrong. I definitely could be wrong. So that's something I'm gonna have to look into. Oh, this is a weird little thing it does out of the gate. It actually makes a legitimate floor, which you can see that we have like depth there. So I'm gonna go turn that off. Where is our floor? Dome, sphere with floor. We're just gonna call it an infinite sphere. There we go. No sphere with floor. That's what I'm more used to. Or we could just do a plain sphere. Or we could do sphere with ground. And we don't want ground. Yeah, can I also determine the ground's radius? It's weird. It's really weird. We'll just do an infinite sphere. Be a lot easier. Yeah, that'll keep that. I think if I right click it, double click it, should be a way to, I don't know how to do that. It's weird. Oh, I can do a clear floor. Oh, that's how I make an infinite background. Interesting. What the heck? Oh, and I can choose my position on my floor. Interesting. That's weird. It's really weird. Should just be able to type in 0, right? Oh, no, if I do... Why does it think my floor's up there? That's weird. It's not how I build it. Yeah, it's very strange. Let's just call it minus 500. Oh, that's close. Minus 200. Ooh. Nailed it. How is it minus 200? Oh, I think when I made my scene, I made it a little weird. Minus 250. I'll give it a little bit of space. It's kind of cool. There's a lot of stuff you can do with this. Looking pretty. Once we get this into Octane, though, we're going to get some subsurface scattering on these blankets. We're going to get some sheen on the edges, and it's going to look a whole lot more pretty. Yeah, and well, of course, we need to color correct it and all that. Definitely like that idea of making it more watery, though, like more shiny. That sheen is going to sell it. Like in this whale, though. Let's go ahead and pop back over. That's, yeah, it's good enough. Oh, know what I need to do is I need to turn off the shadows. Where is that? It's in here? Nah, it was this one. Or was it this one? Main shader. Aha, this is it. So we got our camera settings, our environment settings, shadows, shadow opacity. Oh, nice. Let's go turn off our shadows. We'll get back to that focus on there. Let's take, there's our eye. Let's go ahead and focus back on the whale. Now, he's close. He's very close. I'm still unsure. The skin is too dark. I'm feeling there. That's probably what is throwing it off. Yeah, I'll take our brush sizes out, dock them here, and I'll take my layer. Yeah, stick our layer and dock that up in there. Yeah, there we go. So let's go ahead and focus on not the belly, but the mouth. And for the mouth, I should call this body, not mouth, because it's really not being the mouth anymore. But for the body, it's, oh, I need vibrance. If I up it, Not bad. Not bad. Not too shabby. Yeah, it's not bad. It's a shame I can't stream with music. I mean, I'm listening to music, but I have it muted so you guys can't hear it, which is a shame. I'm afraid to, if I let people hear what it sounds like, it'll go through the stream, that it'll freak out because I'm monetizing it. I don't want to get in trouble for that. But yeah, this is coming along pretty good. Let's pull this. I can pull this up to white. There we go. Now what if I gave the whale a blue eye? That'd be cool. You know, I probably should have not just painted that on like I did. I probably shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I should have done... Well, it's kind of good for now. It's interesting. This is pretty good. Pretty good for now. I think what I'm probably going to do is call it a night, just because it is getting late, and I have to record a tutorial before I head to bed. I got to fix up a video I'm doing on the gradient node, which is going to be pretty sweet, actually. I figured out something really cool with the gradient node on how to mix two gradients together. Or not mix two gradients. It's really crazy, actually. You can actually take the, I can demonstrate real quick, actually. I think I got time. Let's see. I had a pre-built scene. Here it is. It's pretty dang crazy. And I got to finish up teaching half of it. I got half of it recorded last night, so tonight I need to do the other half. But getting closer. Let's see. What do we got? Here we go. So here is just a default little setup we got. Whoa, that's one clean desktop. Thank you, Jimmy. Yes, I'm OCD picky about my desktop having to be clean. I don't know why, but I can't stand anything on it. Now, you can't see, but I have all my stuff that would be on my desktop. I have it actually down below on my bar down here. You guys can't see it. Maybe if I pull it up. There it is. I'll pull it up here. You guys can see. I keep all my junk up there, but I keep it at the bottom so you guys don't see it on the stream just because, I don't know, I'm just picky about that. Now, that said, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I still do have desktop icons, but I have two monitors, so it's on my left monitor. You can't see them. So I'm not going to lie. I am still a little messy. I got a bunch of, I actually pile all my junk to the left so no one can see it. So that's kind of my trick to it. I just pile it all on the left monitor so no one can see it on my right one. But, ooh, gradient, that's right. So here we go in Octane render, and what you can do, what's so crazy is, I wonder if I should change my, yeah, I'm just going to change my layout to the node editor layout I have so we can use our node editor over here. What's so cool is I'm just going to make a diffuse material slap this on here, go into here. What we can do is we can literally make a gradient node right here and pump this in. And what's so cool is if we set our gradient from simple to complex, we get so many more controls here. Now what we can literally do is if I get some images, I have a bunch of daily renders after dailies. Let's just say this is an image, the cloud, and the burger. This is what I use in the tutorial, so it's good enough, I guess. So what's so cool is we can say, okay, I want to have my burger here to be part of the start input, and I want my cloud to be part of the end input. Now what this means is I'm saying, okay, the beginning of my gradient will be the burger, that's what start represents, and the cloud is going to be the end, and that's what end resembles, so it'll be the bottom over here. Now, what do I want this gradient to be driven by? Because I'm already signifying the start and the end, but I'm not signifying what it's actually being driven by. That's what our input's for. So I'm going to take this image up here, the blue ball, and plug that into the input. And now we have basically our gradient driving being driven by these two image textures. Now, right now, we're not seeing much going on, but if I take this right into here, and I unplug these nodes here, now we're just going to have a basic, simple transition. We notice we lost value 1 and value 2. One trick I always do is create a folder, call it desktop, and dump everything in there. Hey, Jimmy, that's a great idea. I actually need to do that. That's a really good idea, actually. That will keep everything organized. That's actually a really good idea. I never thought of that. I'm going to have to, thank you for that info, actually. I'm going to have to remember to do that on my other monitor. I can clog up or dump off a bunch of junk I got over there and there. That's, we lost, if I put these back, we have value 1, value 2. Those represent these nodes here, so I'm going to go ahead and unplug them. And now we're just basically getting a perfect gradient that transitions between the burger and the cloud, and it's making that transition based off of our input, which basically gives us the shape of this one up here with the colors of these two blobbing in together. Kind of weird, not too much use out of this at this point. Now the power comes in if we take our gradient and we pump in a value. This is what's so cool. Remember, our input is being stretched along the length of this gradient right here. And our gradient is made up of our start and our end. Now I'm taking this value and sliding it along, and our value here is representing the transition between start and end. So our start's over here and our end's over here, and our transition point, our movement, is based off of our input. And as I'm pulling this, we're transitioning between those two images based off of this color. So you can literally come in from this, fade to black, transition over into that. Now, we're having a little bit of a black color in here, or say, one trick, Jimmy, don't you end up months later a bunch of different desktop folders inside the same desktop folder? Charlie, yeah, that's what might happen to me. I bet if you stay organized, though, it probably doesn't happen too much. But what's so cool is if you take your colors and you base them off of something else, like right now we're basing our transition colors based off these little knots here. But if I take something else and pump it into these values, like say start and value 1 and end in value 2, I can now turn their colors. They're now based off of this. So the start value and valued 1, which is basically not 1, are now running off the burger picture, and our end value and our slot over here, not 2, is running off of the cloud picture. If I pull both of these together, we can create a transition. So if I pull both of them over to the left, we have our cloud, and if I pull both of them over to the right, we have basically our picture of a burger. Now what's cool is if I take both of these, pull them over to the left, go to the first frame in my scene, click animate, go to the last frame in my scene, pull both of these over to the far right, and click animate, and go to the first frame, go back to my viewer, because you can't actually have live preview. If I hit play now, nothing's going to happen. That's because you can't have your live viewer docked away. You must actually be in your live viewer for the animation to actually take effect. But now, what did I do wrong? Oh, oops. I think I messed up with that animation. Oops. Yeah. Need to have him over here and this one over here. Animate. Yeah. Then put this over here. Then pull both of them over. Yeah, they both need to be over. And they both need to be set to animate. There we go. Now it should work. So now we can go from here. Yeah, for some reason animating, yeah, it's not taking him. Why isn't it? You know what's probably the problem? Octane does not like working with that layout. I'm just going to go ahead and open my node editor and do it the proper way in the second window, how Octane likes it. So let's full screen this thing and get it working. So frame 1, let's go ahead and do that. We're on frame 1. Perfect. Yeah, that's what the problem. It's not animating with those both. So lock those. I just go to animation, delete track. Yeah, animations are kind of buggy with that. So we got that. And we go over here. Now we'll pull both of them over, animate, and let's see if it'll do it. There we go. Now they're both animating correctly. So yeah, it was bugged out because Octane was in that view over there. I'm just going to pull this over. Now if I hit render and we go to our first frame and we hit play, look at this really cool transition that we get. There it goes. Boom. We're transitioning from the cloud to the burger based off of the image data that's being driven into the input. Now, what's so cool is we don't have to be... this could be useful when animating maybe a chameleon. Hey, you know, Jimmy, that's a really good idea. You could totally do that. Charlie, and make sure to keep them organized. Have separate folder for junk. Ah, that's a good idea, Jimmy. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. That chameleon idea, that's really good. That'd be so cool. You could do so much stuff with that. And what's so cool is right now we're just doing this and we can drag this. Like, look how live this is. Like, I'm just dragging this through. Like, Octane handles this friggin' awesome. Like, I'm just scrubbing my timeline. It's just transitioning, no problem. And, of course, you don't have to have such a tight transition. You can go through and animate them to have a little bit of delay. So set for 1 frame, start here, and then just animate them. So this one takes longer to get to the end than this one, and then they'll both animate with a little bit more spacing. Now, if you want, you can make it sharper by setting this to constant. And as soon as I do that, it will force a hard-edged constant transition. So if I didn't have this set to constant, and I just set this to, what am I doing? Change this to linear. And they're already linear right on each other, so you're not going to notice it at all, actually. But if it was blurry here, set this to constant, and it'll force that out. It'll be like a really hard edge transition. But before I forget, what's so cool is if we set this back to linear, we don't have to use this image. Let's go ahead and delete them. Let's go into our gradient and select linear. Now we're making that transition sweep based off of a linear gradient. So literally, this will show it off really well. Boom, we go back to beginning, hit play, and it's just like a slow, sweeping timeline transition. You just slowly translate from one texture to the next. It's pretty cool. Now, what the real power gets into this is if you're blending noises. So let's say, let's get rid of these 2 guys here. Let's go ahead and grab 2 noises. Let's grab this noise, pump this into the start, copy that, pump this into the end. I'm going to set my projection real quick for this noise, pump the same projection into this noise. We can run them under the same, doesn't really matter. XYZ to UWV, and boom, there's our transition between 2 noises, 1 noise on one side and 1 noise on the other. And the reason we're getting that black is because we don't have anything pumped into these values. So start value goes into 1, end value goes into 2, and now we'll have a seamless transition between both those noises there. Right now they're both the same noise. We're not seeing any difference. Let's select this noise, do circular, and there you go. We're doing a transition between both noises. Now, what can we do to really make this look cooler? Or not really cooler, but different, is what we can do is we can make another noise and take this noise and make our input based off of that and use projection. And set a chameleon would be pretty sweet. Yeah, that's the truth, Charlie. It would be. Making the scales change shape of the transition with 2 displacement maps. Oh, that's a good idea, Charlie. 2 displacement maps or bump maps or anything like that, or a normal map, you could totally mix them up with transitions based off of the gradient like that. That would be pretty friggin'... Oh, this is weird looking. That's a pretty friggin' cool idea. Oh, yeah, this is already getting that type of chameleon effect. Weird. I did not think we could do that. That's so freaky. Okay, let's say... Oh, what we can do. Let's give ourselves 150 frames. I totally want a softer transition. So, what am I going to do? Let's see. For here, just give ourselves a bunch of animation room. So for frame 1, we're going to have them here and here. Or, yeah, we'll just have them be wherever. And then for frame 2 at the end, they'll hit here. Except for frame 1, I want him to be only halfway through by the time he hits 90. So I'm going to go back to frame 90 and pull him halfway and lock in that animation. And then frame at 120, he'll speed up and then finish his transition. So this should give us a smoother, softer transition. Now in the beginning, it'll be hard. Is it working? I think it is. I think. Or did I break it? Oh, no, it's working. It just happens so softly. That's a little too soft, actually. Oh, oops. I forgot to tell the first keyframe to start at the beginning. There we go. Lock that in. So we still have that. That is what it was. Whoops, that was my bad. There we go. Behold a soft transition. That's what I wanted. There we go. So now we're getting that nice transition. We're getting that going from one to the next. So we're going here to here. Now let's pick a different color for our noise, actually. Let's take this. Oh, totally going to crank. Oh, what if we took our gamma and pump this to something like 0.7 on that transition? What is this going to do for us? It's going to give us a lot of detail in those transferring points. Now, what you really can do is you can create like an immensely complex noise that's not going to show up tiling as bad. Like you can literally take this big noise here, the main one that's feeling everything, set him to XYZ to UWV, and change his scaling to something like 0.5. Oh, I'm going to undo that. Lock his aspect ratio, put him back to 0, and put his overall scaling to like 0.5 so he's so much bigger. Yeah, there we go. Did it? No. Oh, it's still dang big. Why is it so? Oh, I made him smaller. What am I doing? Yeah, we want to scale him up to like a size of, I'm still thinking substance mindset. Yeah, bigger is with a bigger number. In substance, less tiles is bigger, so you'd actually type in smaller. So that's what threw me off. But there we go. We made this bigger texture. And I could bump down my contrast and adjust my gamma. Yeah, and by messing with my gamma, see how we're blending between those two noises harder? So now we're blending two noises together. This is what's so crazy. We're blending two noises, these two noises together based off of this noise. So we're having three noises that's allowing us to blend those noises. I'm just going to delete this thing. And literally this is giving us a more complex noise that we could pump into something else for color. Now I could either color code these individually, or I could pump this whole gradient. Let's take this whole setup, move it up, and grab it and pump it into another gradient. Put it into this input, into this diffuse, and say, okay, whoops, let's come on, plug in there. There we go. Say, what could I do? Like a really dark jungle green. And there we go, there's that. And the next thing will be like a brown, like maybe it's dirt. So we go like, oh, that's ugly looking. Let's pull that up. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. Let's just do a jungle green and a blue. I think a blues are always safer. Let's go like a nice blue. There we go. So now we're getting like this really crazy pattern. And you know what we can do even further while I'm thinking of it? This is another video I just put out a little bit ago. Speaking of displacement maps, like Charlie was saying, what we can do is delete this gradient, take this gradient, pump it into, and I really want to show this off. If you take displacement and pump the gradient into the displacement, it works. But as soon as I take the displacement and pump it into the displacement tab, take a look what we're getting. Nothing. Doesn't work. Why is this? This is because displacement must have an actual image to actually fuel that displacement. And right now, our gradient is running under noise, which is procedural texturing inside Octane, so it doesn't work. Luckily, there is a node that we can use called the baking texture node. Take this node, pump our gradient into him, boom, bakes this out into an actual texture. So all I'm going to do is just change my resolution to match what our displacement is. Let's do a 2048. So I'm going to set my resolution here to 2048. 32 is a little high for my samples. This is just the sample of how many samples it takes to convert that. I'll keep it smaller. Power gamma, it's all good. I'm just going to take this, pump this into displacement, and boom, my computer's going to freeze up for a second because it's doing all those calculations. And voila. There is our displacement. Now it looks pretty yucky at the moment. We're also baking a lot of friggin' noises. Whoops. Okay, come on. Let's disable our render for a second. Okay, we got this 2000 pixels. Check, check, check. I'm going to go in my displacement and change it from follow geometric normal to smooth normal. This will keep those seams from popping up. And I'm going to set my displacement height. Okay, I got to calculate again. This is the only thing I will mention. There's a problem with basically our gradient pumping out. Every time I make a change, it re-bakes the map. It's retaking all three of those noises and baking it into a 2K image. The geometry breaks because of the Fong. Yep, yeah, that's a really good call. That's a really good call, Jimmy. That does happen a lot, and the Fong is really weird with that. There's ways to get around it. Like instead of having to adjust the Fong on here, what we can do is if we take our displacement to follow smooth normal, it'll actually fix itself. It's kind of like a cool kind of workaround. It'll say, okay, no longer do you run under the geometric normal that you're controlling with the Phong. You're rendering under our own smooth normal. So you're going to be smooth, but I can still keep the Phong angle on the cube. So it's kind of like a cool little hack. Now there is some drawbacks to that, which as soon as I hit render, it'll kind of show up. But now that I have this, I'm going to click Enable Baking and disable it. Now it's going to stop baking every single time I make an adjustment with my displacement. So now I have it baked, and I can go ahead, hit render, and there we go. It's no longer having that issue, and there we go. Now, should work. Our resolution's too small. Let's take our displacement height. Yep. Yeah, our resolution isn't bad. It's cool. You know, I don't like the noise. I do not like circular. Let's pop this up to turbulence. Yeah, there we go. I like turbulence. Is this pumping into color? Okay, good. So this is giving us a preview of that. I'm going to go ahead and unplug our displacement real quick. Refine this color output really quick. Let's take our turbulence, totally give it more octaves, crank that gamma up. There we go. Something like 0.7 is a lot. 0.65. 0.65 is a lot. Just 0.6. There we go. And yeah, I'm liking this. Is that a purlin? What if I said this is circular? Nah, that's not doing it. Turbulence, purlin. Purlin is looking good. Now if I pull this down, we get like a really hard edge. What if I crank? Oh, this is looking good. This is looking good. I up my contrast, dropped it to 0.8. Okay, this is going to be cool. Okay, take my bake texture node, enable baking for a second. It's going to freak out. It's got to chug that whole bake. Pop it into my displacement. Wait till my render pops it up. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, now disable the bake and close this down. Come on. Don't freak out on me. This is very heavy on it. Come on. Come on. There we go. Let's see. Oh, I really hope I don't crash. But anyway, you guys can see what we have here. I really wanted to pan around this more. Okay, good, good, good. It's live. Very nice. Look at this here. So much geometric detail. Remember, we're only running under a 2K displacement map. You could pump this thing up to 4K, 8K. If you're willing to wait for it, I'd recommend being careful with that. But as you can see, you're already getting pretty daggum cool effect. That looks pretty cool already. Ah, thank you, Charlie. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's so cool what you can get with this, like the displacement effects. And remember, this is what's so cool, is our color is being driven by the noise's gradient color. So we already have the black and white detail, because remember, the height is being based off of this this baking texture. Now there is a drawback. I'm using texture projection for my noises here, and they do not work. As soon as, like right now, I went to my texture projection and set to XYZ to UVW, makes it seamless. As soon as you plug this into a baking texture, it instantly breaks that and turns the noise back into a default UV noise. So to get this to line up correctly, and how I recommend doing it is deleting that. Have this bake out properly like that. So now that I remove that, the color is going to now match up correctly, meaning where it's black, it's going to dip down, and where it's white, it's going to dip up. Now it should, and by the looks of it, yes, it is doing that. So I think it's doing that. This is not doing it as correctly here. Now let me make sure I have, oh, texture projection node, that's what broke it. Yep, we'll get rid of him, and that will fix it. So now when I take a look, there we go. Black dips down, white dips up. Now this gives us some pretty cool control. What we can do now is we can take the color data that we're getting through here and pump this into a gradient. And we can literally say, okay, where it dips in, be this color, or it dips out, be this color. We literally have subsurface scattering color correction capable controls. We're using the dirt node, basically, controls already being done for us. We don't have to use a dirt node and calculate distance and what dips in or not, because our color and height's already being determined by that. So literally all I have to do is grab a gradient, pipe this into it, And I can clamp in the values and say, okay, be kind of like this. Say for the base, okay, for the base I want it to be a really dark red. Yeah, we'll make like lava, like a dark orange color. And then for the tips of it, what could we do? Oh, I need to turn off my baking texture. What am I doing? We're baking every time I do that. Baking off. As soon as you turn baking off, everything speeds up. As soon as it calms down. Have I tried vector displacement? No, I don't think so. You mean vector displacement inside the displacement node? That might be the spot. You mean like vector displacement in there? Let's see. Come on. Come on. There we go. Now it's working with me. Come on. Yeah, this is super heavy. This is looking freaking cool. This is looking so cool. And this is, there we go. Come on. Be alive. It does not like it when I disable that baking texture. Baking texture is still in beta as far as I'm concerned too. Like it's great, but it is something that Octane kind of slapped in. Not really slapped in, but it came out of nowhere. Well, to be fair, they do that with a lot of stuff. But it's a little bit unstable, as you guys can see. So you use it carefully. Save often. Speaking of, let's save right now. There we go. So now that we have this, enable baking. Come on, turn off. Enable baking is off. Come on. Stay off baking. As soon as this is good. There we go. It's probably going to have to bake it again when I clicked unbake. It's so stupid how it has to do that. It's like a colorful normal map, but works like a displacement, except that it can do overlapping geometry. Yeah, I know, right? It's insane what you can do. Like, there we go. Now it's alive. It's super crazy. Oh, nope, it's dead again. Oh, now it is alive. Okay, come on. Work with me. Are you happy? Yes, it is. Okay. Follow smooth normal. Vertex normal. If you do, I think this is what you were talking about. Have you tried vector displacement? Oh, that was Charlie who said that. Found out about it today. Oh, nice. Oh, vector displacement. It's like a colorful normal map. Interesting. But it's like a displacement, except it can do overlapping geometry. Interesting. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I'm sorry, I blanked on vector normal maps. That or vector displacement maps. Sorry, vector displacement maps. I have messed around with that very, very lightly. Cinema 4D's baking sculptor can actually pump that out, and it's really friggin' cool. I need to. I messed around with it a little bit. But I need to learn that more actually, because I have to teach that for Octane, because there's a very specific workflow on how you can actually, a lot of workflows for artists who do character modeling and stuff will actually, oh, whoops. I changed my displacement back from vertex normal to smooth normal. There we go. It's nice and happy now. Oh, for character modeling and stuff, what you do is you have like you say you have a body of a character here and he's walking. Well, you want to model him and animate him in his low poly form. But what you want to do afterwards is you have him animated and stuff. You want to subdivide him with a subdivision surface and then displace him. So how do you take the high definition sculpted mesh that has all the detail on him that you sculpted and added all that detail in, and then displace that on the base mesh? Now you could use Octane's displacement, but again, the problem with it is Octane's displacement here, you can do that, and it works decently. Now, you do have seam issues. Well, there could be some workarounds. I'm going to show two ways. You can have workarounds with that, where you use this, because this is fake displacement. This is creating like these fake little little polygon positional points that literally just face the camera. It's not true displacement, but it renders and does everything friggin' quick, which is amazing, and it uses little to no geometry. Like, look, how many polygons do we have this made up out of? But we're only using 300 megabytes of space. Like, it's like next to nothing, and it looks friggin' gorgeous. Oh, I blanked. We need to change that the tips to blue. It doesn't like me editing in my material now for some reason. I'll make this blue. Nice light blue. There we go. Nice light blue. I need to make that orange a little darker. Come on. There we go. Darken that down. Not too much, just a little bit. There we go. A little bit goes a long way. Now that's getting weird. Now, ooh, I am tempted, really tempted to, before I get distracted though, so you could use this as displacement, or you can use a displacing object. And if you run the displacement object on the mesh, you can actually bake out from the Cinema 4D sculpting object a displacement map that works with this. Now, what is that map and what is the settings? I completely blanked. I figured it out. I got it working. I have to check my notes, but it will be in the Octane Master course. I'll show you how to make displacement maps both ways to work on that. So that's pretty cool. But before I call it a night, I really want to take this node here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a mixed texture, and then we're going to take another Octane material. And, come on, Octane material. Here we go. Take this one as slot 1. This one is slot 2. Take our gradient and remove him and pump him into the diffuse of neither. Yeah, we'll pump it into the diffuse of neither and pump this gradient into the amount slot. And actually what I'm going to do, take him, pull him up, take this, pull it over. And, oh, a big thing is you have to run your displacement into, I'm going to save quick, into here. It's really messy at this point. Then I'm going to take a gradient. I'm going to take the gradient up here, pump this gradient into this gradient, and pump this gradient into the amount. And then now I have control over that. And let's take our mixed material, slap it onto here. Please don't crash. Refresh the scene. Our scene is happy. Very nice. Always happy when our scene is happy. Okay, now I need to figure out what color is which. So I'll make this one black. Okay, good. Did it work? Did it work? Or is it this black? Is it all one material? Oh, oops. Is that working? It doesn't seem to be. Oh, I probably need to refresh my render. Or maybe I can't do what I'm thinking I can do. It should. It totally should. What if I just pump this in here and don't do that gradient? Then would you be happy? Why won't you work? Why won't you work? Oh, I bet it's bugged out because I have displacement plugged into him. Come on, unplug. There we go. Now, why would material 1 and 2 not be blended in my amount slider? What if I created a float value? Floaty, float, float. Plug float into the mount. Okay, float. You are... Oh, that's not a float. That's a fall-off map. Oh, whoops. I have to pull this pull to a mount. Float, 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 float. Pop this over. Take our float. Go from him to him. Totally works, right? That's awesome. Now, why does the output from my map not work when I pump him into him? Or what if I pump this gradient into this gradient? Oh, wait. Well, it's working now. What the heck? Oh, Cinema 4D Octane will be sometimes finicky with this. It was working, but then I didn't refresh my scene, right? Okay, so anyway, it's really weird how it does that. So anyway, it's doing what it should be doing. Perfect. Or maybe I just pulled this over too far? I don't know what I did. But anyway, we are segregating these two materials, right? This is so cool what we're going to do right here. I'm so glad this is actually working. Let's save one more time. What we're going to do is we'll take the black material and we're going to pump in a black body emissions into him. But boom. And now we are emitting light. Now, how much light do we want to emit and what color? Let's take the brightness and drop it way down, 1500. And we'll set surface brightness and set the brightness to say 20. Now, we totally need to crimp that brightness back. I want a glowy lava for the core, but not too bright. It's like so bright. Okay, so this to 10. Okay, that's better. And now for the white color, for that white one, we're going to totally change him to black for now. Ooh, very nice. Okay, not pure black, and then we don't get any light shining on it. So let's set this to 25%. Okay. That's freaking cool looking. It's cool. I didn't know I could do that with that. It needs a lot of loving. Oh, you know what we could do? Take that top and make it a glossy. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, make this a glossy for the top. Take our index value, set this to 1.45. Get really good in glossy specular on that, and set our float value to say 0.2 for roughness. Look at this cool kind of dirt look we're getting on the top. Save one more time. It says weird looking. Really weird. And this color is not doing quite what I want. So maybe we could just get like, I'm thinking something kind of blue. Good enough for now. Now, from a distance, this looks really good, which is probably what you'd want to keep this at. Now, again, we're only running under the 2K displacement map. So, I really... nice. Bleep, that's so useful. Said T. Alex, sorry, I'm not going to say the word. I'll keep this stream a little clean, but it's okay to use it. Thank you so much. Glad you found it useful. Cool, says Will. Thank you. And we to make that orange colored noise emissive. Oh, actually, it is emissive already. Actually, that's what's pretty cool. Is it's so bright that it's not showing it, but it is actually emissive. So I've turned this off. This is actually emitting light. Now, what could we do? We could brighten it up. Ooh, I'm gonna take my gradient and just pull. I really want to crank it hard. There, so we just have this intense noise kind of blowing from it. Set my preset to that. Camera imager. What am I doing? Post. My favorite post settings is I love a 10 by 10 with a glare blur of 0.18. And that just adds this nice little blur from it. Just nothing too intense. Direct lighting, path tracing, make sure on that. Go back to him. Take our power and drop this down to like 0.2. Oh, no. We'll set our power to 1, and I'm going to rotate my sky. Let's press E, go W, lift it up. E, lift it up. R, rotate this up. Here we can have like the sun in the background, like a nice, pretty sunset. This is so weird looking. I don't know if that's actually, the light's actually doing it justice. What could I do? That's pretty cool. Thank you, Jimmy. Glad you like it. I blanked. What was I going to do? I totally just blanked. Oh, I think I wanted to up the power to this. Yeah, I definitely did want to up the power to that. Oh, that's what I was going to do. Our displacement is only at 2K. Now, I'm going to save because it's probably really not going to like me. Change my displacement to 4096. Go to my bake texture. Set this also, come on, 4096. I'm going to enable baking. Fingers crossed. Close this. Okay, I'll just let it sit. It'll be okay. It'll be happy. Hopefully it'll be happy. Come on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, says Jimmy. Okay. It's alive. We're good. We're totally good. Yeah, it's going. Come on. he's about to do it. Here we go. It's alive. I really want it to bake. I really want to see this in a 4K map. Realistically speaking, once you get this displacement map baked out, they really need to make it a way for you to save it externally. I would so love to bake out my noises or anything I pump in there as its own image. Playing with fire, says Charlie. Yeah, yes I am playing with fire. Oh man, isn't that the truth? This is definitely playing with fire. Come on. Oh, it's alive. Okay. Let's take a refresh to our scene and take a look closer. Now, I don't know if 4K is actually going to make this look better or not. Oh, okay. I think it might have. Let's get in there. Let's see. Okay, we're talking. Okay, yeah, that is helping a lot with the close-up. Like, we have so much friggin' detail in this thing right now. And again, 600 megabytes. We're still under a gig. We're just a little over half a gig for this whole cube. Like, it's friggin' awesome. Like, you can do so much stuff with this. I want to take other shapes and see what they do. Let's throw a little polygon thing here. What is it? Pyramid. Ooh, a little pyramid. That's cool looking. That's crazy. Like, you can do so much with this stuff. What if we take it and put it on a sphere? This displacement should just work on it. Yeah. Wow, that worked good. Really good. How is this? This is coming out so seamless. Okay, we're going to have problems on the top. I knew there would be something with that. So we need to turn this to hexahedron. There we go. Change the sphere to hexahedron, and if we do plus n plus b, the hexahedrons, I guess I'm pronouncing that right, have a better polygon position. It's basically a cube's polygon set. As far as the subdivision is concerned, it's just wrapped around in a sphere shape, and that works so much better. But man, I'm really loving the triangle here, or the pyramid. Loving that pyramid. That is freaking awesome. So dang cool. Like, what the heck? This looks like a... I don't even know what. What if we took the cube? I'm going to take my cube and fillet it. Plays nice with that. Plays very nice with that. Not having much of a problem. What if I crank it? Not really much trouble. Again, we're having the pinching on the top, so set this like 20. Let's give it a little bit of an edging. It's pretty... Throw on some sort of atmosphere, and you got an awesome planet. Yeah, right? Isn't that true, Alex? Or Alexi. Alexi. Sorry if I pronounce your name incorrectly. But that's a good idea. Yeah, you throw an atmosphere on that. And you know... Ah, man, I should be going to bed. But one really quick thing that we can do to throw an atmosphere on this is I literally copy the sphere. Remove the material from this one. Save real quick so it doesn't die. Yeah, it's so easy to do. I should just do it. Yeah, I'm just going to put the sphere like this. And then what we can do is we can literally go to Objects in Octane and grab an Octane fog volume. And where'd it go? Octane fog. Oh, it's right in front of me. Here it is. So Octane fog volume. Here we go. I'm going to put him underneath this sphere and position him coordinates dunk dunk. And now I'm going to hide this sphere, take my fog volume and expand its size. What's it? Yeah, it's correct. So expand the length and our height and our width. Now, right now we got a block, and it's kind of like, okay, this isn't very planety looking. But if we take our sphere and we make it, come on. If we take our sphere and we make it a child inside, make sure it's fully encompassed in. So let's expand it up, expand it out, expand it out. We take our sphere, make it a child of the volume. Boom. Our volume is now getting cropped out by the sphere. Now, this only works with spheres. I'm afraid you can't make custom geometry or cubes or anything. Literally, it's only with the sphere. Now we create the sphere is literally defining the edging of that volume. Now I can expand the sphere up. And check this out. It's literally cropping it. So now you can see where it's hitting the edges there. So we're going to squeeze this back in. Something kind of like this. A little bit more. Yeah, about like that. Now we can go ahead to our volume, and I'm going to say, okay, what do we want to do with this? I'm going to hide the sphere. So I can just focus on this. Take our volume. Let's do a cloud 1. It's kind of, default random cloud. Ah, shoot. I'm going to undo those. They've ruined my scaling. Uh-oh. Come on. Okay, come back. Yeah, messing around with dangerous stuff. I should... Okay, it's back. Yeah, the fog volume can be a little unfriendly. Let's clear out this noise. Let's go ahead and scale him back. Yeah, about like that. And scale this back. What are we talking? Like 300? Let's just say 220, 230 by 230. And the width is definitely going to have to be something high, like 230 actually. Yeah, 230. Perfect. You know, they need to be longer. Let's just do 300 by 300 by 300. Oh, not 30. Though that is interesting. We just made the rings of Saturn. That could have been a thing. I'm going to have to come back to that, actually. That looked cool. Let's just go ahead and generate our own thing. So, for our volume medium, what do I want to do? I'm going to clear this out. I'm just going to do plain fog. And we'll go into our fog, and we have absorption and scattering. You know what? I think fire's better, because, yeah, fire will give me stuff in emission ramp. Do I want emission, though? Nah, let's start without. I don't even need to worry about that. Let's just go to fog. Change our volume step to something like 0.3. Oh, yeah. 0.3 on the volume step. That's what I'm talking about. What am I forgetting? I need to go in here. I need to go to generate. Oh, fog feather. Crank that up. And now to medium. Hop into here. And I can say density, say 50. Okay, perfect. Absorption. Let's put this, crank it to pure white. And now we're going to have no absorption. Good. Because we don't want absorption. Well, we do want a little absorption. Just a little bit to blue. Not too much blue. Just a little bit. So we go to absorption. Now we go to scattering. Why do we have... I hate when they put an RGB spectrum in there. Scattering, C for the octane, float, A, B, C. Where's the Fs? F, float texture. That's where it is. I was right in front of me. Crank this up to something like, say, 3? Nah, more. Say 50. Not that high. Say 20. Not that high either. Say 4. Yeah. And now, up my density to 100. Yes. That's about right. Let's get rid of our floor. We don't need a floor. We're in space. That sun is too bright. Now, how do I want to go about that? It's coming along okay. Ooh, haha, I know what it's missing, and this is a great trick. Under emission, I'm going to go to C for the octane, black body emission. Texture emission. Black body emission. There it is. Always can't find that. And we're going to crank it. Okay, where isn't... Ew, it can't work. Mission ramp. Uh-oh. Did I save recently? Whoa. Our stream's buffering. It's not happy. Oh, dear. Okay, we're good. We're back. We're back. Save that quick. That was weird. Come on. Come back. I think we're good. Okay. We are good now. Okay, what was I doing? Going in here, C for the octane. OBS is dying. Normally, unless I set it up wrong. You know what? I'm just going to go click fire. Go to my volume. Click fire, hop into my fire. And yeah, volume, gradient, and texture emission. Duh, no wonder. Can't believe I didn't think of that. That's what it was. And then for here, yeah, how did that work? I do set my density 0.3. Set this back to white. Set this to a tint of blue. Nice light blue atmosphere. So pretty. Ooh, that is pretty. That's pretty. I'm putting a lot of time into this, though I probably shouldn't. I need to write some of this stuff down when I figure it out, actually. I've been not doing that. 0.6. I got this working before. Why is my light not shining through this? This should be... Oh. Yeah, that's what it is. What if I say no sky? What am I doing wrong? Texture emission set. I'm not emitting anything. I shouldn't have to do an RGB spectrum. A, B, C, D, R, R, random color, random ref, RGB spectrum. Well, come on. What don't you like? What don't you like? Huh. Is not being happy. Emission. I'm just going to go see. Oh my gosh. I need volume emission. Wasn't that it? Black body emission wasn't. I have to use volume gradient, volume medium. Yeah, go see for the octane, black body emission. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not getting it to pump out color. I used to do that. I am told. Oh my gosh, I hope it's not so stupid as. Yep, this is probably what it was. Octane didn't update. Oh, no, that wasn't it. It's done that to me before. Boy, what was it that I did to get that? Oh, well, I mean, we don't really have to have that. I mean, that's not how it's done in the real world, so I'm just going to skip that. We have our colors. We have our blues. We have our, put our float texture. Scattering ramp. We got that 0.6. See for the octane. Float. Float texture. This is 2. Crank our density down to, say, 350. Good. Open this up. Please, Octane, don't die. I'm really hoping it doesn't. I really just want... you know what? I'm probably not going to do that. It's going to completely freak everything out. I wanted to increase the displacement on the thing, but I don't think that would... I don't think that would be good. I don't think it probably would be, actually. Yep, OBS is doing good. Wow, so coming along about right, actually. Is this looking kind of like what you're thinking about, Alexi? T-Alexi? I think I'm saying that right. Is this about looking what you're looking for like a kind of planet idea? Let's bring our render region. Oh, totally. Got to do the usual Octane thing and set our depth of field down. Grab a little f-stop and blur out the background. totally 0.5. 0.5 is a lot. Too much depth of field. Looks pretty good. Yeah, awesome. Crank. Yeah, just put it to infinite. We don't need depth of field. We got so much stuff going on. I wonder if I could make a floor out of a plane quick. Is this whole thing movable? Should be. If I take my volume and my sphere. Nice. Everything moves very nicely. It's zero outer coordinates and everything. Just put this up to 100. Put it right on the floor. Actually, put that to 150. Put it right above the floor. It's like a little floating weird thing. Tomorrow I'm going to have to mess around there. That's driving me nuts why I can't get the volume emission to work with this thing. I did it before. Like, it's part of the fire system is you have to have volume be light emitted from the volume. It's friggin' killing me why that's not working. Why it wouldn't be working. Get a lot more blue in there. And you know what? Our atmosphere is way too dense. So 200. You know what? Let's bring this down to something like 0.1. Or the most 0.05. There we go. As I lower my density here. There we go. Just a light. How often do I usually stream? Oh, man. That's a good question, Charlie. I literally just started streaming on YouTube today. This was my first time. I want to start streaming more often. I really do, because it's good to get me to actually work on something, because it's a good way to kind of push myself to do it. And I need to take breaks in the day to actually to work on things like this. Like, this is good for me instead of just spending all day working on things and like making and recording tutorials instead of actually just making stuff creatively like this. Is good for me to be able to create stuff like this. So I always make a quick question long. I always do that. I'm planning on setting up a streaming schedule. I'm definitely going to do that. What I can say is in the immediate right now, I can't set up a very consistent schedule. Usually around this time, if I am going to stream, this will be around the time when I am. Like, now it's getting late for me. This is around the time when I'm going to call it a night. It's like 1 a.m. for me. Yeah, 1 a.m. So, like, probably around 6 is when I kick in. I've been going 3 hours now, so it's like, what, 1, 12, 11, 10. I started at 10. It's probably like 8 or 9, I guess, my time. That's when I'll probably do it. I'm Eastern time. It's probably like 8 or 9 my time is when I'd probably kick into streaming a bit, maybe. Until I get a good streaming schedule on, that is. I need to get a good streaming schedule going, which I definitely plan. Yeah, you got to go to. Oh, that's okay, Charlie. It's probably late for you too. This is actually it. I'm gonna call it a night now too, just because this is good. I'm gonna save this. This is pretty cool. If you want to get some more ideas from displacement maps, this whole process. I'm gonna pause that render because it is heavy. On my website, you can head over to my Instagram, and I just did a render that's an animation of that same process, the same displacement I did, except it's animated noise. And same thing, same concept. You're seeing seams on this because I didn't overlay the noise with as complex of a setup. What we just did now is a lot more complex than I have here, so you can get rid of those seams a little bit better like that. You gotta go. But thanks for the stream. No problem, Charlie. Thank you for hanging out, man. I appreciate it. Glad to have you here. Thank you, everybody too. Thank you, Jimmy, and thank you, T. Alexi. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. And thank you to Powers Will. Powers Will mentioned something too. Thank you so much too for hanging out, guys. I appreciate it. Yep. See you, dude. See you, Charlie. Thanks again. I'm going to be calling it a night, too. I'll see you guys. thank you for watching. Glad you guys enjoyed the stream. I'm going to try and keep this up. I can't commit to any dates yet for streaming, but just kind of stay posted and keep your eye out for a consistent stream date and schedule, which will be coming up after I get my course out. But see you, T. Alexi. See you, Charlie. See you, Jimmy. 7 a.m. over here. Stream was a good to think off my day. I was hang out with you. Oh, nice. Oh, good thing to kick off my day. Yeah. Well, awesome. 7 a.m. Man. Well, that's awesome. So you're starting your day, Jimmy. Geesh, I'm about to call tonight, and that's cool. It's amazing how the time zones work. Well, so glad that this stream was a good start to your day. Really happy to hear that, and thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. But thanks again, everybody, for watching. Really hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys all later. Thanks again. Good night, everybody, and good morning to those who are now just waking up and starting their day. So good night and good morning to everybody. Thanks again.